So earlier this year, like in January or whatever, there was this Mid-Journey AI program, and it was making art, and the art wasn't necessarily brilliant, but some people thought it was brilliant. But some people had 6 fingers on their hands instead of 5, and there were inaccuracies and stuff. People were like, this AI is stealing jobs from real artists and all that kind of thing. And then there was this ChatGPT and Claude AI, and they're doing writing, and the writing is good enough that it could pass for being human in the Turing test or in the real world test. And these things are all out in the world now. And I was thinking, hey, at some stage, this is going to be where you can just write some text or even just speak to a computer. Hold on. So yeah, at some stage you'll be able to just speak to a computer and tell it, this is what I would like to make. I'd like to make a film, and I would like for this and that and the other to happen in the film. Here's my rough outline of what this film is about. And you make up the script, computer, you make up the images, you grab everything off the internet and just chuck back a film at me of what my idea is. Type of thing. And again, so many people on my newsfeed on my one platform of Facebook are so worried about the AI, and there's very few who are like really chuffed. And so many people are really worried about the one world government and races and racism and nations and nationalism and globes and globalism and flat earth and flat earthisms. Yeah. And so many people are worried about the division while they're actually so divided. And the thing is that artificial means to adapt things. And what the artificial intelligence is doing is we've created something. No, we haven't. We've discovered something that was waiting to be created. And like with a mirror, when we looked in the mirror, we could see ourselves, but we could also see a reflection of the world around us and the backdrop behind us and stuff. The AI is being like that. But anyway, so why I'm excitedly recording this morning is yesterday evening after dinner, before watching a film with the kids, there was an ad for something I was watching on YouTube, and it was an ad for something called invideo, which is an AI piece of software that's available now. It's advertising itself, and that idea I was saying back in January has happened already. You can now just type some commands into this little app, and 2 minutes later it will make you a little film of the thing that you described, type of thing. And so yesterday I just thought of, fuck it, I'll give it a go and see if it is like what I was saying back in January, that by next year you'll be able to do this. Well, it's only September, and already you're able to do this. So I just tapped it in. I just said, here, look, make me a film of something called The Return of the Fairies. That's I was going to give it some of the script for the poetry or whatever else, but I didn't even do that because the kids were saying, hey, we're ready to watch this film, come and watch this film with us. So literally I spent 90 seconds typing a tiny little bit of stuff saying that fairies are our ancestors, and they've been aware that humanity are going to wake up from the past life trauma that humanity suffers. Something like that is all I put into it. And so I'll play you that video in a little minute as a screen grab off the thing. But the point being is it wrote a script, it took some images off the internet or whatever, and it stuck the images together with the words, and maybe it's got some background music, I presume it does. So it's in no way brilliant. But the interesting thing is the words, really, because what it writes in the words is accurate to whatever degree, and is sweet and cosmic to whatever degree. So I'm not saying it's brilliant, but it is kind of amazing, kind of thing. And I understand the magic of it. It's not that amazing. It's only taking things that have been said before by humans in text on the internet and regurgitating stuff that's been said before, one word at a time. But what I find amazing about it is that's what we humans do. We take what has been said before and we could regurgitate it one word at a time. So we are artificial intelligence every bit as much as it's artificial intelligence, even though we're more advanced, even though we don't understand how we're so much more advanced. That's my statement on all of this thing. And then with the kids, so our kids are homeschooled, but this year in particular we've, like some people out there in the world during lockdown, here in Britain started making a homeschooling website thing. And it started off with just a very few people, housewives and mothers and stuff like that. And it's now quite a big platform where there's loads of classes for loads of kids that you can do online, live with a teacher, online, in Zoom meetings type of thing. And it's, only 8 or 10 or 15 other people that might be in a virtual classroom with you. But the point being is that it's actually really good and the kids are learning stuff. And then the other point being is there's classes there with Scratch, and Scratch is just a word for a thing that's MIT University over in America. Yeah, so MIT.edu, Scratch.mit.edu. You go there and it's all free, but it teaches programming for kids to learn how to make their own programs so that they can design their own artwork and design their own games, and not just be playing games on the internet, but actually design their own games that anyone can play. And it's so interesting. So it's teaching all these same sort of things. It's really how to write a film and all that stuff. But I went to Goldsmiths University from 2007 to 2010, and I got a bachelor's degree in creative computing. And the stuff that my kids were learning yesterday is the same sort of stuff that we were learning in 2007 to 2010 in our university course, and that's fairly fucking amazing. So I'll make another video that will show some of that stuff at some stage, and for now I'll just show you this AI thing doing its thing. Dooby-dooby-doo. Where is it? There. Thanks, Tara. Coffee served in the morning. Generate a video. Has it lost my video from yesterday? Oh well, there it is. So I'll show you this a different day then. Bye.
Listen, can you hear them? Whispers on the wind. Rustling leaves carry their secrets. The Fae are returning, ancient beings of magic and light. Our ancestors, they whisper to our souls. They remember a time before concrete and steel, a time when the world pulsed with enchantment. The Fae are creatures of myth and lore. They dwell in forgotten forests and hidden glens. They dance in moonlit meadows, their laughter echoing through the trees. They are the keepers of ancient wisdom. They hold the secrets of the earth and the stars. They come to us now in this time of need. They see our pain, our fear, our disconnection. They offer us their hands, their hearts, their magic. Will you accept their gift? Will you awaken to their presence? The Fae exist in the spaces between the seen and unseen, between the real and the imagined. They dwell in the realm of dreams, in the whispers of the wind, in the rustling of leaves. Close your eyes. Let your imagination take flight. Picture shimmering wings catching the light. Imagine the soft glow of fairy fire. Hear the delicate melody of their voices. The Fae are as real as you believe them to be. They exist in the astral plane, a realm of pure energy and thought. When we connect with our imaginations, we connect with them. We open ourselves to their magic, their wisdom, their love. Their realm is closer than you think. It exists within you, in the depths of your soul. It is the place where dreams are born, where magic comes alive. It is the realm of the Fae. For too long, humanity has slept. We have forgotten our connection to the earth, to the cosmos, to the magic that flows through all things. We have built walls of concrete and steel, separating ourselves from the natural world. But something is stirring. Deep within our souls, a spark is igniting. We are awakening. Deep within our souls, a spark is igniting. We are awakening from our slumber. We are remembering who we are. We are yearning for something more. This awakening is not without its challenges. We carry within us the wounds of the past, the pain of separation, of trauma, of loss. These wounds run deep, but they do not define us. We have the power to heal, to grow, to transform. The path forward is not always clear, but we are not alone. The Fae are here to guide us. They offer us their wisdom, their love, their healing energy. They remind us of our own innate magic. The Fae are our guides on this journey of awakening. They whisper to us on the wind. guiding us towards our true potential. They remind us of the magic that resides within us all. They teach us to listen to the whispers of our hearts, to trust our intuition, to embrace the unknown. They show us that the world is full of wonder and magic if we only open our eyes to see it. Through their connection to nature, the Fae help us to heal our wounds. They teach us to find solace in the embrace of the forest, to listen to the wisdom of the trees, to dance beneath the stars. They remind us that we are not separate from nature, but a part of it. We are all connected, from the smallest blade of grass to the largest star in the sky.
If one doesn't heal all this cosmic past mumbo jumbo past life stuff as it comes up in the present, if one doesn't recognize I'm actually creating this somehow, and in a way that I don't know how I'm creating it, but in some invisible magical process manifesting in my own life, my own struggles, my own traumas, my own blockages, my own projections onto other people that I don't like what they're doing, my own fixation on evil. If I don't recognize that stuff and own it in myself, I'll never heal it in myself, and I will take it out on the world, and I will believe what I'm seeing outside of myself is real because I'm seeing it, and I believe it's the truth because it's my truth, and I'll fight against others' truths if they're not the same as my truth, and I'll be worried about the immigration, and I'll be worried about the foreigners, and I'll be worried about the pedophiles, and I'll be worried about the elite, and I'll be worried about the whatever it is, our greatest fears. Covered up for more years than I care to remember have tracked me down to this very town. Now I face fear wherever I turn. Wherever I turn, I see love, yet I face fear wherever I turn. Solutions may be found all around on sacred ground. Our roots form the trunks of our trees, and our joys may be simple. A smile makes a dimple, a twinkle in a child's eye. Learn love from the birds and the bees, and our joys may be simple. A smile makes a dimple, a twinkle in a child's eye. Learn love from the birds and the bees, and our joys may be simple. A smile makes a dimple, a twinkle in a child's eye. Learn love from the birds and the bees.
That's a lot of code.
No, it's little blocks of code instead of having to type in all those individual signs and sigils and stuff. You just lift these from the edge, knock them around, and that writes the code to do this. And basically my point is you are doing at the age of 10 what I was doing in my 30s as a mature student in Goldsmiths University doing this creative computing course. And I just want to say how completely impressed I am with the world, with you guys, with our parenting, and with the weather for the middle of September in Scotland. That's really nice weather. Okay.
Eat 4 o'clock. No, not order for a delivery, Mr. Harris. We're going to put some times in order. So I'm going to give you some times. I'm going to give you 3:30, 4, 10, 7, 15. It's going to be too boring, and and it's going to be good for you to revise things. But please bear with me. It will get more complicated gradually as the term goes on. But it's important to remember that with 100 people, everyone's going to be in different positions. So please bear that
Dad, do you
in
have
mind.
your page ready?
I'm ready.
We are going to be, first of all,
You learn
doing
with
our
us,
first
Kimi?
task of. I was hoping to have a lot of people with their cameras on, but we haven't got everyone across from moderator into panelists yet. As people arrive, that Raphael's there. I can see people now. As you start arriving, the reason I ask you for you to consider having your cameras on is for me. Okay. Number one, when I teach a lesson, I'm used to teaching in a classroom, except on Fridays. And when I teach, I get feedback from your facial expression. You don't even need to tell me anything. I can often get feedback from your facial expression on whether you're understanding, how much you're making is making sense to you, whether you're bored, all that sort of stuff. So the more people can have their cameras on, the better for me. Second of all, the chat is not used for answers. If you want to ask a question, then feel free to put it in the chat, but it must be a question. The question cannot be, can I tell you my answer, sir? Because there's 100 of us. I don't go in for going to people with their hands up and things, because if we do that,
92
then people
panelists.
try and just get a lot of attention, and that's not what we want. Okay, so I might choose people at random, and I might say, Adam, for example, could you unmute? He will either unmute, he doesn't need to at the moment, but if I did say to that, then Adam would either unmute or he'd put something in the chat saying, sorry, my microphone's not working. And that's absolutely fine. If you're not on, if you have not got your video on, or your so I can't see your face, I'm not likely to pick on you to answer a question. And that's because I can tell from people's faces, like Kaya, I can tell whether she's feeling comfortable answering the question. I can't tell your face. So a good way of making sure you're not asked questions is to have your camera off, because it's my safety net of making sure people feel safe. Okay? But having cameras on, for example, I can say good morning, Raphael, good morning, Adam, good morning, Rosie, and good morning all to Archie and Kaya and Eric and Maisie and Rosie. And I believe there's someone with Kaya, and I can't remember who. It's Kaya and I'll remember. Shoot. Kaya, remind me in the chat. Now, the other thing is we don't use the chat for chatting, which is a weird thing to say. If everyone starts chatting, people who are on iPads get loads of notifications, and it can be quite triggering. Okay, so I like that everyone wants to arrive and say hello to everyone. It's really polite, but the problem is if 100 people start answering that, it becomes chaos. So please, can you bear in mind that just by being here, if you want to greet people, have your camera on, and as you arrive, just a little wave. That's a good way of greeting people. Because if everyone comes in and says hello and hi, so people, for example, people that aren't even listening to me right now, a lot of people are typing a hi in the chat, and that's what I need to stop. Because if 100 people say hi, it becomes chaos and it's not very fair. Let's go into our first task. This first task is going to require honesty. You are not trying to impress me. You all will impress me all the time. You are trying to do a task. To do this task, you're going to need to close your eyes. This can be done even if you're not watching the lives. What is going to happen is I'm going to say go, and you're going to close your eyes. You don't have to do it yet, no? Okay? When you close your eyes, you're going to estimate what you think a minute is.
Wow.
How long you think a minute is. And at the same time,
I know how
I
long
say
a minute
now,
is. 60
I'm
seconds.
going to start the timer on the screen. You
But
can
how
see
fast do you count
the
to
timer
60?
on the screen when I share my screen now. Now, one thing to bear in mind, and I think Kaya is reliable because I've known Kaya for a year at least, if not 2 years now. Each lesson, Kaya can remind me if I haven't shared my screen. No one else needs to, but Kaya can always remind me, Mr. Harris, you haven't shared your screen if we need to. Hopefully we can all see a timer. So what's going to happen is I'm going to press play, and you need that timer to get as close to 60 seconds as possible. But as soon as you open your eyes, that's your final answer. And you can write that down on a piece of paper. Hopefully, one thing I should have mentioned to you, you should all have a pen or pencil and a piece of paper, or a pad of paper, so you've got something to write stuff down on. First of all, find my OneNote, there it is. Now, this is my whiteboard. What I would like you to do next is something called a ratio table. You're going to write 1.
So yeah, that was little bits in the background of the guy teaching the math class, and he's brilliant. He's like an ADHD dad who's in his 50s, and he's just brilliant with kids and holding a classroom together in the Zoom online, and he's got 100 students in his thing. He's really popular. But yeah, he really stood out to me last year, just hearing from the other room how interesting he is. And he was not teaching maths in that one, but it just made every subject so easy. Anyway, here is the AI with like 3 sentences of prompts, making its own little video around me just saying, hey, Return of the Fairies, The myth of, not even the myth, make a video of fairies speaking to modern day humans. Fairies are our ancestors. Fairies are the past lives of modern day humans, and speaking to humans about our healing of our past life traumas. Roughly speaking, that's what I said to it, and it made this.
The Fae are our guides on this journey of awakening, from the smallest blade of grass to the largest star in the sky.
So that's it, and it I did say to it the word astral plane, I think. I did say to it the word healing, and I did not say to it words like magic type of thing. So anyway, I found that pretty impressive, and presumably what I would do then is I would go into edit, or I could give it more commands. It's broken things into 4 chapters. It's giving you all this option, so it's walking us through what are the options to do. And the point is, I haven't studied filmmaking. I haven't really studied computers all that well, certainly not the modern computers, and yet the point is this AI stuff is making it possible that anyone, a kid, so my daughter Becca, I could go to her as a 9-year-old a couple of days ago and say, hey Becca, do you want to make your own little film? And the AI is going to learn from everyone who uses it, and it's going to get more and more resources from everything it does, from every interaction with every body of every mind, of every child and every grown-up and every being, at being able to make, for example, animation. So I would like that if her voice was different, but hey, obviously I should use my own voice if I really want to make a film, and use my own fairy tale. And what I'm curious here, why I bothered to even do this, is because I am curious to see what happens if I upload Steve's artwork, and see, can it make animations out of Steve's artwork, or just see what it would make. It's going to make something out of it, and presumably I can upload my own voice as the voiceover for the whole thing, instead of that woman's quite whatever voice, not perfect voice, and I can give it more and more directions. And it will teach me how to make films with all these little prompts. So it's giving me prompts, so I can give it prompts, so it can give me more prompts, so I can give it more prompts. And between me and the AI, we can make something that is pretty good, and then adapt it and make it pretty better, and adapt it and make it pretty damn good, and then adapt it and make it, actually, this is very good. This is something worth showing to some other people, to try and relate to other people what I'm trying to communicate, from the ideas going on inside in my soul mind, to express into the world something that's not in the world, which is what my inner soul mind conceives this world to be, and I'll learn more about the world. So what I'm really on about here is all this fear converts into knowledge to become experience, which becomes overcoming fear and finding out it's not so hard, it's not so difficult, it's not so dangerous. The AI is not going to eat my brain. It's not going to replicate me and take over my life, unless I'm not living my own life and let it live it for me. But that's a choice I make. The agency is with the human to continue to evolve and grow. And the biggest thing I think the AI is going to help us learn about is time itself. You're just going to help us learn about time, which is the interesting thing about, the coincidence with that teacher in the Zoom meeting teaching 100 kids and some parents about how to teach online and about how to be good teachers type thing. And Alison McDowell's stuff. Alison, you're going to watch this probably. I've not said this to you for the last couple of years, but I've been wanting to say to you, but I don't want to influence what you're doing, but I've been wanting to say, hey, don't be scared of the technology, don't be scared of any of this stuff. And yet at the same time, there's nothing wrong with being scared. It's good to face the fears that we have. It's good to question what might be. It's good to look into everything that we're all looking into. It's good to find out, wow, if there isn't some sort of a spirit thing creating souls which become embodied, which have such a past of time, with so much wounding from things that didn't go what we would call great, where things went wrong, which end up in death, which end up in trauma, which end up in remembering trauma from one life to the next in order to resolve stuff. If that is what's going on, all these iterations of lifetimes in a linear sequence, culminating this lifetime, which has a nexus of all lifetimes in this present, present, to comprehend that actually past and future is just a state of conception. It's not really real. There isn't, while time is real when you're in it, from outside of time, time is merely a dream. And these concepts are all coming together these days for us to comprehend, okay, if I die now, what's going to happen? Well, this current timeline I'm on, this incarnation is going to cease to be creating, and yet my consciousness is still going to be processing, and my soul is going to be, yeah, okay. And perhaps I'll spawn a new body, and what trauma I haven't resolved in this lifetime so far will be the beginning point of a next lifetime, and will be resolvable, so that time will eat itself, so that this oneness that now we pretty much don't trust will be experienced. And our fear of a one world government being just a replay of when the nasty white invaders came invading native people's lands and killing people in order to force people into the system, which has now become the global system, which has now become the AI system, which in many ways is taking the power out of the hands of the elite, kind of thing, as a possibility. Like, I ain't pushing these thoughts on top of anyone, but these are the thoughts I've been processing over the years. And it seems to me that I've gone from a thorough fear of technology and a thorough fear of what governments are doing and a thorough fear of the billionaires on the planet. And beneath all of that is my bravery of understanding and my wisdom of understanding from the words that came through me like a ChatGPT that I am back previous to the year 2000 and culminating in the year 2000, 2001, saying that our ancestors are saying, don't be scared of what's going on these days. Actually, what's going on these days is the healing of all past and the wholeness of all brokenness. I'll leave it there for now. Thanks for listening, if anyone's listening. Bye. B, I'm making a little audio recording here of what do you kids think of this home education stuff that you're doing, but what do you like about this way of doing home education instead of going into a physical school with physical kids?
I can do my own stuff in the meantime in between classes rather than just having to do what's set for me for 6 hours a day for 5 days a week for months and stuff.
That's enough if you like.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little recording here for making my little video for putting on YouTube and stuff. Will you tell me, what do you actually like about this homeschooling that you've done the last couple of days?
Some of it's fun.
Yeah. You've been learning anything? Like this
Yes.
Scratch stuff. Have you been enjoying the Scratch stuff in particular?
Yeah, but I do it little by little.
Yeah. Bits at a time. And that class today with the maths dude. Did you like it?
Yeah, it's fine.
You didn't learn anything new because you already knew how to tell the time, but is it nice having your mum and dad in the class with you?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Recording from my little video for YouTube, but will you tell me what it is you're doing on your screen right now that your class is over and you're continuing on with stuff from yesterday?
Well, I had just watched some YouTube and then I decided to continue my Scratch thing where I can go to the side and the other side and jump.
Let me just film what you're doing there.
And jump. Let me see the jump. Side, side. It turns around when you go to the side, which is cool. And jump, jump, jump. That's it. That's all you can do. This is my gadget character. And
But
jump.
this was yesterday and nobody taught you how to do this. You just figured out how to do this using the MIT Scratch thing. And
by copying videos.
Yeah, by watching videos on YouTube, but nobody told you, hey, go and watch this particular video on YouTube and you can copy what they do. You actually figured it all out yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You did this all off your own back.
So, like, can you go into different rooms?
No.
Not yet, because remember the background? All she's done is taken a background. Where did you get your background for this?
Gotcha.
And you uploaded it into this Scratch thing. And this character here, who is this character?
The character made on Gacha.
You made this character from scratch yourself on this other program earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
And you realized, wow, instead of just using what's on the Scratch thing, I can take my own character that I've made and upload it into the Scratch. And are you making a fighting game ultimately? An adventure?
Maybe.
You're making some sort of a game.
It's going to be at least an obby game.
What does obby mean?
It's where you,
Parkour.
it's where you like jump over things.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe jump onto something.
Yeah. But you realize you could have multiple characters. You could have different kids in their bedrooms or wherever on their screens playing your game. And you could actually build your... Listen, Osh, you could build your Cephaloophagus. How do you say it properly?
Cephaloophagus.
You could build your Cephaloophagus world online, and you could have hundreds of kids in your world designing their characters
What happened?
and running around in that world, interacting with each other. Can you show people what this
Oh, this is the code for the play hour.
That's a lot of code.
No, it
sort of
isn't.
blocks of code instead of having to type in all those individual signs and sigils and stuff. You just lift these from the edge, knock them around, and that writes the code to do this. And basically my point is you are doing at the age of 10 what I was doing in my 30s as a mature student in Goldsmiths University doing this creative computing course. And I just want to say how completely impressed I am with the world, with you guys, with our parenting, and with the weather for the middle of September in Scotland. That's really nice weather. Okay, bye.
Not really, no.
Yeah, so I myself have been really struggling for how to fit in with this world, and you know, when I got my 2-1 in creative computing or whatever, I have no interest in actually spending time getting a job in creative computing, in the computing industry, even though it could have been like 50 grand a year or any of that stuff. I just wanted to go back down on the streets and go into squats and all this kind of stuff anyway, and go back into trying to heal all the vast stuff. I mean, anyway, point being is I've struggled in the last few years thinking, oh, online, digital doubles, doppelgangers, all that stuff, control systems, ideas that the internet could steal our souls, that the AI was an alien invasion, all these kind of things. And I've struggled in the last couple of years to be able to express to people on my Facebook or in the world that actually everything's okay. Everything really is healing. Having gone down and checked out the fear of what if it's not all healing, what if this is all terrible, what's going on, I do find it is all healing. There is a benevolence behind everything. The truthers who are so adoring of an evil that's going to destroy the world are actually the Satan worshippers who are expressing out there that the elite are Satan worshippers. But by believing in Satan worshipping, and by believing that the elites do this stuff, and by putting all of your time into studying their dark arts, you're studying the dark arts kind of thing. So what I'm finding is accelerating these days is the realization and revelations that actually everything's okay. That actually we can heal all of this stuff. That actually, if one doesn't heal all this cosmic past mumbo jumbo past lives stuff as it comes up in the present, if one doesn't recognize I'm actually creating this somehow, and in a way that I don't know how I'm creating it, but in some invisible magical process manifesting in my own life, my own struggles, my own traumas, my own blockages, my own projections onto other people that I don't like what they're doing, my own fixation on evil. If I don't recognize that stuff and own it in myself, I'll never heal it in myself, and I will take it out on the world, and I will believe what I'm seeing outside of myself is real because I'm seeing it. And I believe it's the truth because it's my truth, and I'll fight against others' truths if they're not the same as my truth, and I'll be worried about the immigration, and I'll be worried about the foreigners, and I'll be worried about the pedophiles, and I'll be worried about the elite, and I'll be worried about the whatever it is, our greatest fears. Covered up for more years than I care to remember have tracked me down to this very town. Now I face fear wherever I turn. Wherever I turn, I see love, yet I face fear wherever I turn. Solutions may be found all around on sacred ground. Our roots form the trunks of our trees, and our joys may be simple. A smile makes a dimple, a twinkle in a child's eye. Learn love from the birds and the bees, and our joys may be simple. A smile makes a dimple, a twinkle in a child's eye. Learn love from the birds and the bees, and our joys may be simple. A smile makes a dimple, a twinkle in a child's eye. Learn love from the birds and the bees. So it's an early morning here in my world. I'm woken up early by my cats. And today I could have gone on a journey